Hello guys and welcome to my new video. Today I decided to do a video on the shoulders, the tier 19 4-piece and haste. So haste breakpoints, and is there a haste cap? Why I was prompted to do this is because I've actually very recently received the shoulders, Aman'Thul's wisdom, and I've been testing them quite a bit. And just basically seeing how to best optimize them. Now the fun part is that if you have the shoulders, you will notice once you get the shoulders is that shoulders go really well with the 4-piece. But before we go into that, let's look at what kind of haste you need to have. And the default haste is all to do with the level of persistence that you have. So there is no really haste cap, there's just basically haste breakpoints. If you have 4-piece, which you probably will if you're raiding in Nighthold regularly, and if you have the shoulders, there are specific haste points which are going to give you an additional rejuvenation ticks, which are in turn going to increase your healing. So if you have these specific items, Aman'Thul's wisdom, the 4-piece, which each time you rejuvenate, rejuvenation heals a target, he has 2.1 chance to jump to a new target at full duration. So basically a free rejuvenation generated in the raid. So if you have these items, there is specific haste breakpoints that are going to increase their healing. The first thing I can say is that shoulders become much better with the 4 set. It does not mean that you should not be using shoulders in 5-man, but just so you know, in raids, when you use the 4 set, Aman'Thul's wisdom is going to be a lot better. So first I'm going to actually use a spreadsheet that you probably should be using as well on not daily basis, but I mean every time you find an item and things like that. Tortys spreadsheet is really good for finding out what kind of upgrades you need, and I actually found out about the haste breakpoints actually doing this. So you enter your stats here. I'm just going to presume and enter something like 7,500 haste. To keep it at 20%. So let's presume you have around 20% haste, which is not a crazy amount. It's not too much, it's not too little. I actually like to go around 20 plus, around 23%. Let's say you have this. In here you notice that persistence level is 3, so you only have three ranks into persistence. Now this is really important, because you most likely will have 4, because if you got Concordance of the Legion Fall, you most likely will have 4. I have 5 because I have an additional persistence relic, and I'm going to come to this special section to explain why this is really important. But let's just go back to the spreadsheet and let's look at persistence. Persistence here is 3. So basically a newly leveled Resto Druid might have a question on what's a good haste cap and things like that. So you can see here straight away, this is the important section that you really focus. You can see that breakpoints for just 4-piece is 33%. You're not gonna aim for that. That's just stupid. The first one is 16.76. So you should have at least minimally 17% haste to get an extra ticks from your 4 set. Have 17% haste if you have the 4-piece. Done. It's not going to be too hard. Again, if you have the shoulders and 4-piece, you can see that the first breakpoint is 7% to get 9 full ticks. If you want 10 full ticks, you need 21.43. So if you have the shoulders and you have the 4 set, and you're like, okay, I only have 3 points in persistence, I'll try and get 21%. Now let's go to a scenario which is way more achievable. You have 4 persistence points. So this is what you're gonna have basically if you get Concordance, or if you spec into the persistence straight. Again, persistence relics are one of the best relics that you can get, so you should really look out for one. But let's say you have 4. So now you see that the breakpoint for 4-piece goes down, instead of 33%, it goes down to 26. But you can also see that the shoulders and 4-piece is 29%. But that's 11 full ticks. You already gained a 10 full tick, because that goes down to 15% haste. So you're definitely gonna have 15% haste with the 4 persistence points. So basically getting that persistence trait is giving you an additional tick of the shoulders. Additional tick of the shoulders. So this just shows you that just equipping persistence relics can be really, really great. So I have 5, so in case you're gonna run, let me go to the game. If you're gonna have a persistence relic, so I got a persistence relic from lower cards and from morals. It was a decent item level, and it was a bit lower item level, but persistence, remember, adds +3 item levels. So I have a total of 5. So let's see how much that's going to add, how many more it's going to add the breakpoints to my 4-piece and the shoulder. So you can just add 5 persistences here, and we just go back to shoulder, 4-piece, 19 calculations. And you can see right now that I'm getting the 10 full ticks, 10%, that's nothing. And you can see that I can almost get the shoulder 11 ticks with 23.91 haste. So I need 24% haste with 1 persistence relic to get an additional shoulder tick. And you can see that my 4-piece breakpoint has been basically reached, 20% haste to get additional, like, I mean, that's not going to be an issue at all. And you can see on the side here, it's basically telling me how much of an int equivalent it is, how much of rejuvenation healing it's going to add, and it's actually giving you like 1100 for gaining that breakpoint. So it seems to be quite a lot. Yeah, but what you can see right now is basically, depending on the persistence, the amount of traits that you have in persistence, you can actually get additional ticks of rejuvenation by just getting an additional persistence relics. Or if you cannot get those persistence relics, try and get your haste a bit open, try and reach that breakpoint. I do not recommend, like, I mean, there was a breakpoint for 24% haste when you have 1 persistence, which is what 1 persistence relic, which is what I have right now, and I kind of try to reach the 24% haste to get an additional tick from the shoulders, which makes the legendary shoulders better. Therefore, it's increasing my healing. But the point is, I would not go crazy and remove all my mastery or crit or versatility and just go for that haste cap just to get the shoulders. I wouldn't really go for that. If you can do it, do it. If you can get the gear that gives you a high item level and haste, go. There's no reason not to do it. But at the end of the day, what I found out is that it's probably going to be easier for you to run those mythics and try to get as many persistence relics as you can to help out your shoulders, to help out your tier 4 set, tier 19 4 set, so you can do more healing. So this has been a little guide on basically try to aim to get at least 1 persistence relic in your weapon, because that'll give you an additional tick on shoulders, that'll give you an additional tick on your 4 set, and it'll also mean that the next breakpoint for shoulders is going to be 23.9%. So maybe you can reach 24% haste without getting too much trouble, without removing everything else, and you can enjoy your shoulders and get more ticks of rejuvenation with the shoulders. So hopefully this has been a somewhat educational guide. The short version: get 1 persistence relic if you can, use at least 1 persistence relic. If you can, get as many as you can. If you have the legendary shoulders and if you have the 4-piece tier 19, it's going to help out a lot. Thank you for watching this little video, and I'll see you in my next guide.